You're in the lounge, and my name is Miss Tara Lounge, and thank you for joining us. I'm here today with
Amber Nicole.
And Amber Nicole, tell the lounge viewer a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Well, I am a model. I am a stylist, an aspiring designer, and I do a little bit of everything. I'm an APP, all-purpose personnel, and I do hosting. I have a degree in communication broadcast.
So isn't that awesome? So Amber's gonna help me out for a little bit here. Just get the lounge to get you guys some great information. She's good at communication, fashion. My phone just fell and I have all the good information for y'all, but whatever. And we're just gonna get into it. First, we're gonna talk about this Standy.
Oh my goodness.
What happened? How did Standy treat you?
Disaster. Well, the lights went out, of course, as you know, a lot of other people could relate to. We had to light candles and, you know, just try to keep warm. Pretty much all the food spoiled because the electricity was off for the past, you know, few days. But we may do, you know, thank God. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse,
really
for sure. And there's a lot more people that's still out without.
Yes.
And then today, here in Connecticut, we're
Athena. What is up with these names for women? Like,
but they always make it seem like women, like Standy.
Yeah, I feel a little offended, to be honest with you. Like, you know, we're not disastrous. If anything, we're nurturers.
Right. So it's always like, I feel like they always name it after a woman for some reason. Why is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there have been some storms that were named after men, but they weren't nearly as bad as these past that we've had in the last few years.
Standy left people homeless.
Yeah.
Like, people, there was no flooding and no light for days and just a lot of hectic things going on. Yeah. And they name it, and now this storm, they call it Athena.
Athena.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's a lot of wind, you know, a lot of snow, a little bit of sleet and rain, and if the temperatures drop lower, it's probably going to freeze. So, you know, tonight people definitely should be safe, you know.
Yeah, they should be safe.
Stay in if you don't have to go out.
Like Amber had to come to the set in her car.
It took me 30 minutes
for a 5-minute ride.
I'm like, what in the world? Everybody's doing everything. You know, there's traffic everywhere. People are probably still trying to get home from work, you know, get to their families and get warm and shelter, but it's just a mess.
It's just a mess.
Everyone's everywhere doing everything.
Okay, so
go home.
Go home. But let's get back to a little bit about just Amber in general. So I met Amber through a mutual friend, which is great, and I've taken a liking to her. I think she's fun. You see the personalities kind of get along here. That's kind of good.
It's
right?
very good. Yeah, they have good chemistry.
Good chemistry. And she's been doing my makeup for a lot. So half those great outfits you see me in. Actually, the cover, issue 6, she did my makeup for that. So if you guys ever want to get your makeup done, you can definitely give this, you know, as always, loungemagazine.com. Go there, communicate with us. We'll get right to her for you. It's that easy with us here. She's right now called her part of my team because I think she just has good energy. So I told her she needs to come on the lounge show and help me host for a little while. And
I would love to.
Right.
So thankful, you know, that you extended the invitation to me.
So we're going to try to have some fun for the next couple of sets. So we don't even know what we're going to be talking about all the time, but we're going to have some good topics for you.
Yes.
But today I kind of told Amber just to come on because I'm going to kind of be in control of some of the topics. I want to see if she even know half the stuff we're talking about here. But as usual,
take the fun, right?
Yeah. But as usual, you know that this show is always about business, fashion, and entertainment. We bring some culture and about what's going on in the environment at all times into the show. But our main focus at all times is helping you understand more about business, fashion, and entertainment. So today we're going to kind of briefly go through a couple of things. So we're going to start with the entertainment part. So one of my favorite artists, Brandy, came out. Have you had the opportunity to listen to her record?
I haven't heard the whole record, but I've heard the single that she has out on the radio now.
Which one is it?
Put It Down.
Put It Down. Put It Down is a definitely a commercial single. I like it. But I did listen to her entire album, and I'm gonna say it's probably one of the best R&B albums I've heard. And she's a true vocalist. And people don't understand what's the difference between a vocalist and a singer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there. You may hate me on this one, but Beyonce's a singer. Beyonce just sings. She sings hit songs.
And she's an entertainer too. Yeah.
I like watching her. However, I've really yet to hear Beyonce belt it out where I'm like, ooh, like give me like a song where my arms stick up versus I just want to dance when I hear her voice. When I listen to Brandy, I feel like she got that soul and the passion, and the way she just used her vocals as actual instrument is actually amazing to me. So when I reviewed the album, you know, it ain't little Brandy no more. Brandy's saying paint the house with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's grown up.
She grown up. Talk about tell me
put it down.
Right,
love.
right.
I'm like, okay.
She has this one song on there. Talk about I'll meet you in the kitchen, whatever position you want. I was like, let me find out. Brandy.
I think she's ready to be married, to be honest. And even when watching the reality show that she was doing,
she's just ready for that time, that part of life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she grew up young, you know, in the industry or coming up, you know, as a singer. And, you know, she's done, you know, a few movies and things like that. I think, you know, to be honest, she's from what I get from her, because I don't know her personally, but I can just tell she's very down to earth, you know, and just a real person.
She seems like, even regardless of where she is in life, if you were to sit here with her, it wouldn't be an issue. Like, she would just have a real conversation with you. And that's a very great quality to have.
Yeah, because some people, I think, in the business, you know, are a little superficial.
Yeah.
They're not real.
They're not real, and that's hard. And the funny part, I think that's why she has genuine fans like myself. Maybe that's why I kind of relate to her.
Yeah.
Because in some weird way, I feel somewhat connected to her in the sense, like, I feel like I've done so many things from a young age, but at the same time, I always have to maintain being grounded because of my parents. You know, the people that are around me help me to, like, they don't care. I could be a billionaire and they don't care. They'll still talk to me crazy, you know? Right. So, and those are the people I love and appreciate. They're like, oh, I don't like that. They don't, you know, even though I may not agree with them, they tell me how they feel. I like that about them. So that was one. Who's your favorite entertainer right now? Like,
I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. I mean, I like a little bit of everyone, you know. Like, it just depends kind of on my mood, too.
Okay.
Like, what I'm in the mood for or to listen to. I actually posted on my Instagram, what was it, Monday? A throwback, but a goodie. Jagged Edge.
Yeah, I like Jagged Edge.
Take another heartbreak. That's the intro.
She's getting into this too much right here.
I love Jagged Edge. I know on was it Hot 93.7, like I think it was Friday, they were doing the difference between Jagged Edge and 112, like who's better, and people had to vote, you know, so they would play a few songs from each one, you know, and kind of go back and forth. But at the end of the day, I mean, I like 112. They're more get your freak on. Jagged Edge is more like you want to make love and, you know, get into love. Yeah, it's just more respectable music. That's just my, you know, personal opinion. But yeah, I was just in the mood for that. Like, I just wanted to hear it again.
And sometimes it's cool to just have that, right?
Yeah.
It's really
nothing wrong with that. I mean, I like, you know, what's going on now, but don't forget about, you know, what was before, like, you know, the things like Aaliyah.
Yeah. You know what song I like for Aaliyah? Rock the Boat. I thought it was the most cleverly written song.
You know what I like about her? She was just classy.
Real classy.
Yeah, just
very laid back.
Yeah, laid back.
Very humble.
Yeah, very much.
The girl next door.
People loved her.
Yeah.
And still do.
Yeah, it's crazy. Remember when she died, it was almost like we lost something so huge. She kind of like changed the industry for
That's
better
like my
good.
best friend's favorite artist ever of all time. She loves Aaliyah.
Yeah. It's so sad, but I think her death, in a weird way, helped the industry in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of see that, you know, we can't just take life for granted.
Yeah. And because, I mean, who would have known her getting on that plane, you know, trying to come back from doing an awesome video shoot, you know, and shooting, you know, for days. And, you know, she had her whole team with her. Like,
yeah, and think about it, only 9 of them out the entire team. And that was the one time her mom, her brother didn't go with her. Isn't that interesting?
Very ironic.
Very ironic.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason, you know, only God knows. But, you know, she really... Yeah, really. I like her.
I like her. I like her too. I definitely like Aaliyah. I like I actually like the whole Brandy, Monica, Aaliyah era. Because I felt like they all had different qualities, you know?
They had something different to kind of bring or offer to the business. Yeah. So it was just like, even though I felt like Aaliyah was more she has like an angelic voice, and her dancing was just phenomenal. Like, she danced like she didn't feel anything. Like, she was just moved. It was just natural for her.
Natural. And I felt like Brandy, everybody just loved Brandy personality, that voice, her roll-on. She probably has the best, whatever she does. Riffs, whatever. Yeah. She got, it's crazy. To this day, she's still like, oh, I'm like, oh my God, stop.
Yeah.
And I felt Monica just brought that soulfulness, like a very soulfulness to her song. So that was a little different era when they was just.
It was a different era. Yeah. Than now. Because
this is so much. It's overpopulated. It's hard to even keep up with artists now.
I know, because so many people are coming and going. You know, they one hit wonder. You know, but those that really made a mark, you know, or have stayed, you know, for a while.
People have still respect.
They've proven themselves, you know, to be like, I deserve to be here, you know, as opposed to someone just giving me a handout.
I like that.
No, they really want it.
So I'm good with that. So the next thing is we're gonna talk about some fashion. So for me right now in fashion, I'm actually kind of bored with a couple of my looks. You know,
really, with your personal look,
like you know, we ever. Not to say, I know I have great stuff and I've always admired fashion and everything, but you ever come to the point where you're like, I just want to change?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's where I'm at.
Switch it up a little bit.
Switch it up a little bit. So I'm trying to figure out where that direction is going to be.
Okay.
But before I even get to that direction, I was like, I got to accomplish a few things in my life first, because I don't want to change without accomplishing to fit that look.
That's understandable.
So I was just like, and I was looking at a few things in Vogue, in my personal magazine, Longe magazine, that we had in there, and also Glamour.
Okay.
Just to kind of get some feel and taste. And I'm like, stuff just keeps repeating. Like, history just keeps repeating
Definitely.
itself. And I'm looking at this outfit, and I'm like, I could pull this out my closet. So I was thinking Amber and I probably could do a show where we get a couple of people.
Do like a makeover.
Do like a makeover or something. Yeah, what you think?
I would be down for it. I love doing makeovers. That's like, I get a thrill out of that because, you know, you see a before and then an after, and it's an after with a touch. You know what I mean? Somebody else actually came in and, you know, helped them and make sure that, you know, they look presentable and that whatever they're wearing, you know, complements their body type. You know, I don't think that you should ever wear anything that doesn't compliment you. Definitely self-expression. I believe, you know, when you dress or fashion is like self-expression, and you know, you should be comfortable in whatever you're wearing.
I really do believe that as well.
I'm so versatile with my style. Like I'll switch it up in a minute. Yeah, I'm just me. That's what I say. I can do that because I'm me.
No, you know what it is? I feel when it comes to fashion, certain people try to emulate other people and it doesn't work. No, and the reason it doesn't work,
though, you can tell people that, like I went down south a few weeks ago, and it's funny because, you know, down south, like, not say that they're not fashionable, don't get me wrong, because people come from all over, you know, and it doesn't matter where you're from. It just has to do with, you know, like I said, you. But you can tell that a lot of people that I seen when I went out were dressed like straight out of a magazine. But that's no originality. That's just, okay, this is what's in, this is trendy, so I'm going to wear it. No, put your own, you know, like touch to it. Nothing wrong with, you know, wearing things that are in for now, but then there you have some classic and some timeless pieces that you can still do some things with. You know, never get away from your primary or your basics, you know, colors. You can always accentuate things with print, you know, but you just have to know, you know, how to kind of like put it together. But I could definitely tell. I was like,
I'll always, because I think it's all about swagger.
Yeah.
Like today I'm not even actually dressed, but I feel I'm comfortable with who I am. Like I feel like I put on sweatpants
and you're still fly.
And I'm still fly, but it's the personality.
Absolutely.
You know, some people be like, but they still wondering why everybody's paying attention. It's not about the clothes, it's about the person who's wearing that clothes.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite show to watch, and the reason I've been watching this show for years, just a little crazy, is Gossip Girls. And the reason I like watching Gossip Girl,
fly.
The clothes.
Whoever is that stylist, 2 thumbs up, okay?
We like you.
Doing your thing.
We like you here in Lounge.
I would love to assist if possible.
We ain't never lied on that.
Because they're dressed. But it's very New York.
Very New York. And I think over the years, somehow I've emulated, not really, a little bit. Yeah. Like I was saying to somebody.
Upper East Side.
Yeah. Because I've always, that's me.
Yeah.
That's just Renee. So I was saying the other day, like, I was just like, oh my goodness, because I was looking at Blake, who plays Serena.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, I got that dress. And I'm like, is it because I've been watching the show, or is it just because it's truly my style? Like, I started like being a little confused. And I'm like, you know, it's not confusion. It's just a mere fact that the reason why I was even attracted to the show wasn't really because of the theme of the show. It was because of how well dressed they were in the show. So I tuned
in. Time, you know, whoever wrote the scrict or the idea, the concept of the show.
They put a lot of time
into
it, and I was watching.
And they did well.
Yeah, and I was watching something about how everything came together, and they said they have never repeated an outfit except for the guys in that show. So they up to date. If they did 100 episodes, that means they have changed 300,000 times. It's like crazy. So I'm just like, so that to me, that tells me that they put so much effort into just
making sure that they look the part.
Right,
yeah, because you know sometimes you have some shows, you know, even movies, and you can just tell, not to say that they just did whatever, but maybe it wasn't well thought out, right? You know, or it wasn't well put together. Yeah. But you can definitely tell that show, you know, when they wrote it out, you know, they had an idea and a vision in mind for how they wanted the characters to look, you know, and what they wanted them to portray. I mean, they're teens, right? They're teens.
Well, they're not teens anymore. They're young adults now, so they're looking more like to get married and move on to their next.
But at the time when they were in school,
but even when they were in school, they were going to school with like.
But that's because they have money. You know what I'm saying? What they're representing, you know, and their parents are these
wealthy people. But I was saying to myself, it doesn't matter how. To me, honestly, it doesn't matter how much money you have when it comes to look, because if you were to watch that show, and you're able to understand good material. And you're going to a Catholic school, you can be as funky and within your guidelines as possible, just knowing how to put those things together. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying outside of them, you know, being in school, they were fly.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
Yes, definitely. So I was saying to myself, like, you know what? I definitely can't wait for the Tarot Lounge brand to come out. You know, like, because I have some really, I love watches. I don't care who it is. Donna Karan, Burberry, Rolex. As long as you're a nice watch, I love watches. So I want to do a Tarot Lounge luxury watch. So it's been taking me a little while to do that. So that's one of my interests for the year. And the Lounge and the Lounge conference, which we'll talk about later on. But what are some of your focus for the year?
My focus is for the year.
Well, the coming year for
coming year, yeah.
It's almost December now, so.
That's, you know, just some personal goals, some things that I'm trying to aspire to do. Maybe even before, you know, the end of the year, just kind of get them in motion. You know, taking myself more seriously as a model. You know, looking for representation or an agency, you know, that will take me serious and bring me on, you know, to do some print and maybe promotional work. I mean, I would love to do runway. I'm not that tall, but I'm a good height. You know, I'm average, and if I had heels, I look taller. I have a nice long frame. You know, just networking, you know, getting out there, being in the city, just whatever is happening, and it has to do with fashion or entertainment or just things that I'm trying to aspire to do, being around those people who are self-motivated. If they're not already at that level, you know, to bring me to the next place, then at least they can offer me some type of advice or guidance. Guidance in that.
I'm glad you said that, because I learned something very important. One of my actual mentors is the VP for one of the biggest corporations in this country.
Wow.
And the one thing he said to me, which has allowed for me to kind of start boxing people in, he said, if you find somebody you feel you can mentor, you keep them around. But for me to grow, as for where I'm at, I need to have people at my level or higher. So if I want to be on the Upper East Side paying $200,000 a month for rent, I need to be hanging around these people.
Right.
And I need to figure out how to get to that point and what are the steps to get there.
Right.
Because if you don't make any change in your everyday life, how can you expect to progress, to move forward, to do things? Right. You know, and you need to figure out, because you have family that you just got to box. You're going to love them, you're going to hang with them at Christmas, laugh with them and stuff, but there's certain people you just need to say,